Welcome back. This is our second conversation for this morning, and it's all about Ahmadiyya Basketball League. And we have on set with us none other than Mr. Rodvern Lino, who is the ABL commissioner, as well as a young man holding up an MVP trophy, Mr. Arnez Miles, who's a member of the Under-12 Ahmadiyya Basketball League. So he's a part of an Under-12 team.
Yeah.
Good morning to both of you gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having us.
No problem. So, Mr. Lino, let's just start with you. We've had this discussion on several occasions right here on set, but for those who may not be familiar, let's talk a bit about the Ahmadiyya Basketball League and the vision behind this league.
Okay, so Ahmadiyya Basketball League started in 2014. We newly had the Ahmadiyya mosque or the Ahmadiyya community in Belize at that time, and the head of the community at that time went to the then mayor, who was Darrell Bradley, and asked him, how can we assist with the youths in Belize? And he said, well, a basketball league would be something great, and that's where the idea birthed from. We put pen to paper, and this is where we are.
Did anybody know about basketball in Ahmadiyya at that time?
So Ahmadiyya Basketball League has been running in other countries.
Okay. So it wasn't a new concept?
It wasn't a new concept, but it was definitely new to Belize.
Belize, correct.
We struggled with around 8 teams at that time, and now we're having to tell teams we
don't have the space.
We just finished our 9th season. We had 53 teams.
Wow.
Different
How do you
categories.
even juggle and schedule and manage 53
Man,
teams?
I had some sleepless Tuesday nights because I would bring out schedule on Wednesday to accommodate traveling teams. We have teams from all over the country.
What is it though about the Ahmadiyya Basketball League that has young people flock to it, to want to be a part of something like this?
Management. Just kidding. But you know what happened during the time when this league was introduced? There wasn't much happening for basketball at that time, and especially for the young people with the different age categories that we provide. So until now, we're still the only league that you could actually have a U12 team in or a U15 team in. It's a bit different from the elite league that we have and the other leagues that we have running around.
So you've had to break those 53 teams down to different categories, right?
Right.
Tell me a bit about the categories that make up the 53 teams. You said U12, U15.
Okay, so we had U12, we had U15, we had U18, we had female U18, and we had a U22 category as well.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Now, for persons who don't really know the concept of what this league looks like, we naturally think it's just basketball. But is there any other life skill development sessions that are involved in being a part of this league?
Okay, so the whole idea for us is, to create better young people, create better men, create better women, for our little Belize, for us to live in. So we have an aspect in our league that compels you to do a small community service with your entire team. And we've seen feeding the homeless, we've seen the whole concept of cleaning, picking up the plastics around, and we've had people paint homes, visit shut-ins. It's amazing the level of creativity that young people come up with to give back to the community. So it's really more than basketball, but creating better human beings.
And you start them young, under 12.
Right.
And of course we have Arnez Miles, who is a part of the U12 Ahmadiyya Basketball League. Let's get you in the conversation, Mr. Miles. What made you decide to want to be a part of this league?
Well, it's really because I love to play basketball, and from when I was like 3 years old, my dad had me training layups, working out and doing all sorts of stuff because he wants me to become the best man I can be when I grow up.
Okay.
And what has it been like engaging with other young people like yourself in this league? Have you made any friends? Have you created any bonding relationship with other people through the sport of basketball?
Yes, mom.
Tell me about that.
Well, I really love to play basketball, and my teammates, they acknowledge me as their captain, and when I am on the floor, they want the ball and they tell me, you can do your thing, and I will just help you. So I'm like, okay then.
What can basketball teach a young person about life?
Well, to just be good and respectful, like by listening to your coach and other stuff like that.
What's the name of your coach?
Daniel Brackett.
How?
Daniel Brackett.
Daniel
Brackett.
Brackett. Is he from, where is he from? Crooked Tree?
Yes, sir.
He's from Crooked Tree. I know him very well. That's
The
a
Sports Monday coming out of you there.
That's a great, no, this is a great guy. Now, and where are you from?
I'm from Belize City. Right
You're
here.
from Belize City, and how long have you been playing?
I've been playing basketball since I was 3 years old.
Oh yes, you said since you were 3 years old, but competing, you've been competing since you were 3 as well?
No, from since I was 9.
From you were 9, okay. And how many years have you played in the Ahmadiyya League?
2 years.
2 years. So you played under 12 last year, and you're playing and you played under 12 again this year.
Yes, sir.
And for both years, you've received
MVP.
MVP.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a bit about what that means for you, or how does that feel?
Well, it's made me feel joyful because I did this for my mom, because like I lost the hard rock on Mother's Day, so I said I'm going to win this for my mom.
And so you won it for your mom. And what's the name of your team?
Conquering Lions.
Conquering Lions.
Yeah.
Okay. Your team won first place
Yes, sir.
and the tournament, and then you got MVP, obviously.
What does it take to be MVP?
Well, it's just the hard work and the dedication you put in to trying to be a basketball player and making it far.
And what do the persons giving this title look for whenever they're titling someone MVP?
We look for a well-rounded individual who shows leadership on the court, consistency, and of course the winning team. That person comes from the winning team. So Mr. Miles here has been doing it. We've seen tremendous growth from last year to this year. I happen to have his dad on Facebook, so I'm always seeing the type of drills that he's doing, and he's a hard worker, you know, so you definitely see it on the court whenever he is playing. You see all that hard work paying off.
Yeah.
So he is back-to-back MVP.
Ahmadiyya Basketball League went from a league in 2014 that was just picking up some traction. Nobody really knew about it, to it being now a league 9 years later that is embraced by the basketball community in Belize. How have we seen these young men grow in the sport, in their lives, to become better basketball players, but also better men, young men in their communities?
Well, we have stories for days.
I could imagine. 9 years.
Yeah, and we've been working, we've been traveling with these young people. And, you know, in terms of basketball, we've seen players and coaches gradually transcend from the different age categories to the top league, to BEBL league, and you know, we've had coaches reaching out to us. Oh, we're looking for players that
Kind of scouting.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've had that. We've had players, coaches asking, "Can you send us a player right over in Chetama? Can you send us a player? We'll pay for it. We'll pay his travel. We'll pay his food, pay his lodging, and pay him for the game." You know,
exciting.
yeah, we've had people who pretty much could make a life from basketball.
Okay.
But we've also had
Go ahead.
workplaces like the Belize Coast Guard reaching us to us, asking us for basketball players. We've had Grace Kennedy, other places asking
Inter-office.
us right for inter-office.
Can you name a couple of the well, let me ask if there's any current BBL players that spent a couple years or any at all in the Ahmadiyya basketball league.
Easy, John Kelly.
John Kelly.
Yes, Shane Pratt. Right?
Shane Pratt.
Yeah. So we've actually had the open category as well. So most of the BBL players would have been playing in the open league as well.
Okay.
Now, gentlemen, I have to say, I mean, I think we speak for everyone when we say that you guys have been doing a wonderful job at mentoring these young men and young women of Belize here through the sport of basketball. But what else can we expect from you guys in the future? Because I know that you're always busy. There's always games happening and training taking place. But do you have anything coming up?
Okay, so our yearly calendar looks like the league. After the regular league is concluded, then we move into summer camps. We get a couple of coaches from the US to come down and travel the country and Mexico because they've always been a part of the league. So we've had teams from Chetumal. One of the female teams from Chetumal actually won the league this year, and one of the U22 team from Chetumal did a major upset with one of my co-workers, Mr. Sosa's son team. But you know, it was a major upset. But we've been doing summer camps, and after summer camps, we do the prison league.
Prison league?
Right. So we have a league running inside the prison as well for the inmates. And then we
that one is not publicized as much.
Because of the protocols surrounding the prison.
Understandably.
But you've been doing that for two years now. This year will be our third year.
Give us some insight into that. Take us into the prison, just
so
descriptively for us to understand what happens.
All right. So first off, you have to be on good behavior. Then the teams would come from the building, so it would be Tango 1 versus Tango 4 and stuff like that. They would suit up 12 teams every Saturday morning. We would go into the prison. I would take coaches, not coaches, but referees and desk officials. By the time we get there, the prisoners have already set up. They're already excited. The teams are already there waiting for the games to happen.
Wow.
We've trained some of their own people to do desk, some of their own people to do officiating. So now they're running their own league prior to the one that we run.
Wow.
That's something for them to look forward to.
Something for them to look forward to, and for the management of the prison to keep the guys in check. You know, you can't be on a basketball court if you're not on your best behavior. So.
Are those some good games being played in there?
For sure. We've actually had one of the open teams, the Hard Rock Boys, go into the prison to play the winners from them.
Really?
And they lost by a point.
The Hard Rock Boys
Hard
lost?
Rock Boys, who have been on a roll, lost by a point.
I mean, I heard prison ball isn't easy, and so those guys probably went in there.
Really different from what you're thinking. As a matter of fact, my referees who I normally take to the prison said it's even easier to ref inside of the prison.
Why is that?
Outside. The discipline is so much different, you know.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to go, really. So,
That's interesting.
Mr. Miles, tell me, what's your vision? You're clearly an outstanding talent among your peers. 2 years as MVP. What is your vision for basketball?
My vision for basketball is for make it out to USA to be an original basketball player.
An original basketball player?
You're professional.
Professional.
Yeah, you want to be a professional basketball player, right? So, what school do you go to right
I
now?
go to St. Luke Methodist Primary School.
St. Luke Methodist, and what class are you in?
Standard 5.
Standard 5.
And who's your favorite basketball player locally?
Yeah, locally. That's a good question.
In Belize?
Locally
Yeah,
mean
in
as in
Belize.
Belize, yes.
Yes.
Or like for semi-pro.
Yeah, you know.
Just in general, who's your favorite basketball player at all in
It
Belize?
can't be a dad.
Probably Nigel Jones in my
Nigel
opinion.
Nigel Jones.
Yeah. What do you like about Nigel Jones?
I how
basketball?
he played. When I go to his workouts, he tell me inspiring things to let me keep going and never give up. I like the energy that he plays with and his respect.
Yeah.
And then on the current national basketball team, we were talking about it earlier, that's playing in Argentina. Who's your favorite basketball player on that team? You have one? You
No.
don't have none. That's okay.
Now, we asked you for your local favorite basketball player, but who's your favorite basketball player of all time, internationally even?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe.
Brian, why? Yeah, but I got some high standards. High standards.
Now, Mr. Lino, you mentioned that you guys are preparing for the summer camp set to take place. Do you still have space?
So what the concept of the summer camp is, we take the coaches to the municipalities actually.
Okay.
We adapt a lot of the basketball courts around. You pass them and you see the Ahmadiyya logo on the backboards. So we would take it to places like those that we would sponsor the court.
Do you have any schedule of where you'll be going for
Not
the summer?
yet.
Not as yet?
Not yet.
And for persons who would like to reach out to you and to follow the work that is getting done at the Ahmadiyya Basketball League, how can they do so?
ABL, Instagram, Facebook, all the social platforms, you could just follow.
ABL, because ABL could be Atlantic Bank Limited too.
That's right, but we've had a reputation now,
Definitely.
so once you type in ABL,
That comes up first.
yes ma'am.
All right.
So, Miles, why would you encourage young persons to join Ahmadiyya Basketball League and play for a team like you do?
Well, it's fun, and also I like it because of the Ahmadiyya. I can make it far because they post videos on social media platforms and other things. So I like it because every year I get to play in Ahmadiyya, and they have different age categories.
Do you think it's important to, while you're good at sports, to also maintain good grades in class?
Yes, sir. Every year, like from infant one, I've been competing with a girl in my class, but she always comes in first and I come in second.
That's okay. You're keeping your grades up there though, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're doing your best to do your best.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you planning to compete next year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, with the same team? All right. So tell me a bit about who you want to big up, people you want to say thank you to for helping you this season and helping your team this season.
For this season, I wouldn't be here like being an MVP 2 times. It wasn't for Mr. Lindbergh Moody, also known as Ding, from
Ding.
ABS Sada. If he didn't let me play with his team in Ahmadiyya, I wouldn't be here right now. So I love to thank him for
That's
letting
one.
me play with his team. And my coach that was putting in extreme work with me to make me become more respectful and don't answer back your coaches and stuff like that.
And any of your teammates, you want to big up your team?
No?
Not really? Not yet. All right.
Any family members that rally behind you and support you?
My mom and my dad, like my dad, he trained me from I was small. So I like to big up him for doing an awesome job as my father and being just a great dad.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by. Truly an inspiring organization and as well as an inspiring league, the way you have consistently transformed the lives of these young men in Belize, of course, and women as well. So we can't wait to see what takes place in the future.
Thanks for having us.
Good luck and all the best.
Yes, ma'am, thanks.
Thank you too, Miles.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into modern dance movement, presenting Tenacity. Stay with us. We'll be right back.